Hello viewers, today we're going to be modifying this telephone jack in the living room because it's not set up the way I want it to be. Right now it's configured for a two-line system, so the top thing there is line 1, the top and the bottom one is line 2. Now I don't have two lines, so this is really kind of a waste of an outlet. Now you see I have two telephones that I plug in here, and I'd much rather be able to plug each one into there and not have to have one of these adapters. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to modify this outlet here so that it only has line 1, and line 1 will be on both of the sockets there. Now there's two ways you can do this. You can go to your main junction box and wire it up there so that line 2 is just on line 1's terminals and they'll both be the same. Or you can jumper the two outlets inside the box. I'm going to use the jumpering method just because it seems more efficient to me. I'd rather just run a couple inches of line rather than have the signal going through another 50 feet or whatever it is, a phone line, to get to this outlet. Now this outlet was never installed correctly. These screws don't actually screw into anything, and there's no box in here. This is awful. It really is. But I'm not going to bother with fixing that today. So, and of course this, this is just ridiculous. This is all taped up here and everything. Well, anyways, so I've disconnected this portion of the telephone line, not necessarily for safety reasons, because telephones or telephone lines don't really carry a lethal amount of voltage, but whenever you're rewiring something, you always run the risk of shorting something out. So to prevent damage from equipment, I've disconnected the line. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to remove these bottom screws here. And dopey me brought out two Phillips screwdrivers. What was I thinking? And I'm eventually going to just cut those off because we're not going to use them. And actually I gotta get some more tools. Okay, so I got my wire cutters and strippers, and I got a common screwdriver. You don't need this, it's just my preference to work with one of these in this instance. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to cut off the exposed part of the wires we're not using, and I'm just going to put them back on a wire like this. So they're there in case I ever wanted to use two lines, but for now they're out of the way. So I have two jumper wires here, and this is not any special wire. Actually, I believe this is electric fence wire, like for a dog or something. And what I'm going to do here is this is really inconvenient to work here. That'll work. Okay, so I'm going to take the wire here and I'm going to put a hook on this one like this, and when you do this you want to make sure that the direction you're tightening the screw in looks like the hook. So the screw's tighten like this, so you want the hook to be like that. And I'm going to put this on here now. So right now I'm making the connection on the line 2 port on the bottom. I have this turned upside down. So now that wire is on there, I'm going to grab my screwdriver here and tighten this up again. Okay, so now that's in place. And I'm going to take my second jumper and do the same thing with the hook. I'm going to put it on this other line, other part here. Now my particular telephone line here is only using 2 wires. Some may use 4. I think most are fine with just 2. But in this case we're only using 2. So if I was using 4, it would just be the same procedure followed on those two the bottom pieces as well. So now what needs to happen is these wires are going to get connected on the top here like that. So Now this connection can be a little bit more of a nuisance because I have other wires hooking on here as well. But I'm going to unscrew this now and put the hook in. And I'll put this on. Hopefully everything else stays. Now, go figure, this was actually put on wrong, so I'm gonna undo this green connection here. I don't know whoever wired this up, but they were an idiot. They did the hook backwards, so I'm gonna correct that, and we'll do it like this, which is better. And I'll put this on. Sorry if the lighting is really bad in this video. This is a dark corner, so I have to use a light, the light on the camera, which does not produce the best picture, but it's better than a dark video that you can't see, I suppose. Okay, so now that those wires are on there, I'm going to tighten this up. And you're willing to bet this one's probably put on wrong as well. Let's take a look. Ugh, what the heck was that? It wasn't even hooked at all. Oh my goodness. This yellow wire is kind of difficult to work with because it's not stranded and it's very thick. Okay, now let's tighten this up again. Oh, that's cool. That's actually stripped. You know, this is really getting out of hand here. But I think it's on there good enough. So now the wiring is completed. So what's happening here is this is line 1. It's coming onto line 1's terminals, and then we're jumping it down to line 2's terminals. So now what should happen here is both of these lines, or both of these sockets, should be line 1. So I'm going to stuff this back in the wall here. Okay, now it's back in the wall. I'll put in the screws. Wow, that screwed in really easy. And now we'll give it a test. I got to go downstairs and turn it back on, or plug it back in rather. Alright, here's the 2 telephones that I have downstairs. And I'll plug one of them in here. Actually, I'll turn them both on. Okay, we got one. Now let's try the other one. And there we go. So I'll go ahead and ring these just so you can see that it is in fact working on the same line. Okay, so there you have it. The telephone line has been, or the telephone jack rather, the terrible telephone jack, has been reconfigured so that both outlets are line 1, and now I can use that adapter, wherever it went, somewhere else. But thank you for watching. Comment, subscribe, and out.